Hi and welcome. My name is Todd Worley. I'm a successful blogger and online entrepreneur, and today I want to talk about receiving disability at a young age and some of the disadvantages that truly go along with actually receiving disability at a young age. I was very uninformed during out the whole process of actually applying for my disability and getting disability. Um, Way back when. I actually applied for disability right out of high school, so I was like 18 years old when I applied for disability. Disability usually takes about 2 years minimum before you can actually hire the lawyer and go that route and all that good stuff. So it took about 2 years before I was actually able to get disability. So I was 20 years old. I couldn't even drink yet when I was put on disability. And some of the key things that they really do not tell you when you're young and you're applying for disability is one, your disability is actually based off the work that you've done throughout your life. Now I had a couple, small fast food jobs when I was in high school and stuff like that, but that really didn't amount to anything in my pay really. um, and all that good stuff. And as far as getting Social Security disability insurance, which actually helps your family and stuff later on throughout your life, you haven't built up enough credits to actually receive that yet. None of this stuff was actually mentioned to me or informed me throughout the whole Social Security process. And so when I actually was able to get Social Security or whatnot, I learned very quickly that one, I was going to be saddled with $421 a month. Yeah, that was the income that they had actually determined for me at the time. Of course, throughout the years, they, tack on like $10, $15 here. But at the same time, you got to realize that at the time I was living, I had a few government agencies helping me out with housing and, power assistance and food and stuff like that. Not much because I was a single male and all that good stuff. So it's pretty much just enough to survive. Okay, and then when I actually got my money, they had to do the whole balancing thing to where, okay, well, now you make a little bit of income, so you got to pay this much on, your rent, your power, and your food and all that good stuff. And so really when I got my money, it just kind of bounced right back out to being the same of me really having nothing. And this is something, and these are things that, Social Security, I think, should actually go out and inform people, especially the youth, okay? Because honestly, I had no idea of any of this when I was applying for Social Security. Nobody told me any of this. I had to find out later on in life that because I didn't earn enough credits through working for 10 years or something and stuff like that, that my children will not be eligible to receive any child benefits or anything like that because of my disability. Yeah, did not know that one either. Thank you, Social Security. And also, when you're saddled at the age of 20 with $421 and you've just graduated high school and you start seeing all your friends and stuff go to college, get careers, move on with their lives, go work, and all this good stuff, do you know how that feels? It feels horrific. Okay, you become so depressed because you don't have anything, and you know now that you never will. Your life is already set. You're disabled. This is how much you're going to get paid for the rest of your life. And and honestly, I was so naive when I when I applied for Social Security that I actually thought that, okay, now that I make an income, I can go and file for taxes and stuff like that. You don't get tax returns and stuff like that if you're on Social Security income because it's the taxpayers that's actually paying you in the first place. So it becomes a kind of like a redundant thing. So you don't get taxes or anything like that. I've never filed for taxes in my whole adult life. Yeah, you can simmer on that for a minute, okay? No tax refunds, no tax, nothing like that. Okay, there is no advancements, there is no promotions, there's no, oh hey, well, I'm working towards a better future or anything like that. Your future's already planned. Your future's already set. This is what you're going to be saddled with. This is how much you're going to make, and you're never going to get ahead in life. Yeah. So, of course, to anybody, that can that can mess with you, not psychologically, that can mess with you emotionally. Um, yeah, it's devastating all around. So, my advice to anybody who is thinking about applying for Social Security and stuff like that, especially at a young age, is to really look into it, okay? Look into it. Because take it from somebody who applied when they were 18 years old and fresh out of high school. Um, it's not a pretty life. It's not a pretty life at all. You're always struggling. I mean, at the age of 26, I had to sit there and take my brother's hand-me-down clothes because I couldn't afford any clothes of my own. I couldn't, you know? I mean, it's a tough, tough life. You know, there's no way that you're gonna really advance in life. You know, you can sit there and try and save, but there's always something that comes along. And what are you gonna save? The 10, 15, $20 extra that you get a month? You know, you gotta keep some sanity to yourself. You gotta go out and do some things every now and then. You just can't. And that's what it is. It actually traps you. It actually traps you. And I didn't realize this, but it actually traps you in your house. Because think about it. Anywhere that you go, you have to pay some way, somehow, or you gotta do something physical, okay? And and your friends and family are only gonna carry you so much, okay? I mean, let's be realistic. When it comes to money, even blood, even blood has a hard time giving money to blood, okay? No matter what the cause is, you know, and they can only do so much for you, you know. They can only take you out to a dinner, you know, so many dinners here and there, and they can only take, you know, and plus, how demoralizing is that for you? For you personally, who has to sit there and always have to receive a handout and always have to receive the charity of others because you can't afford to do it yourself, because you can't stand on your own 2 feet. That is what being on disability at a young age is, and that's the biggest disadvantage. You know, and it just messes with you and messes with you emotionally. You're depressed for pretty much your whole life. You spiral into this depression because you can't even afford to really get out of the house on the days that you do feel good. And then when you don't, you know, you're physically down. You know, you wake up every day in pain. It's a miserable life. And so and I think one of the best remedies for pain and stuff like that is to do something productive, you know, and you gotta do something productive. You gotta get your mind off the pain. You gotta focus elsewhere. And honestly, I would have loved to have a job, you know. I would have loved to I would have loved to have a job, a 9 to 5, you know, being able to go out there and just, you know, say, oh yeah, you know, it was a hard day at work today, man, whew, you know. I mean, you want to talk about a conversation killer? What are the 3 most popular things that people like to talk about? Sports, weather, and what you do for a living. Yeah, those are the 3 topics when you first meet somebody that you're going to really talk about. Sports, while I loved playing them, I wasn't really too big of a fan of watching them, because watching them, all I wanted to do was go out and play. You know, I was back in school and stuff like that. I was more the active guy than, you know, sitting around and just watching, you know, other people play sports. It was like, well, hey, I want to jump in there, I want to play, I want to have fun, because that's what sports is. It's having fun and stuff like that. Well, when I became disabled, it became even more depressing because I wasn't able to do that. I wasn't able to go out and play sports and all that good stuff. So what did I do? I stopped really watching sports because of that fact. I mean, who wants to watch something that always makes them depressed, you know? And then weather. Weather was always my favorite one. Easy topic, you know. Oh, hey, beautiful day we're having today. Oh, hey, weather's horrible today or whatnot. Easy topic. And plus I usually had a 50-50 chance of getting out of the conversation quickly before they proceeded on to the 3rd question, which was, what do you do for a living? When someone asked a 20, 23, 24, 25-year-old man, what do you do for a living, you know, even 27, 28, and your response is, well, I'm disabled, I got a bad back, you know, I live on Social Security, I got tremors that, you know, to where I shake uncontrollably at times for hours on end, and you know, you got to go into this whole explanation of, 1, why you're 2, what your disability is, and, well, I really don't have a 3rd. Those are pretty much the 2, but before somebody wants to turn and actually say, okay, well, that's great, you know, because honestly, when you start telling people about your disability and stuff like that, like, it's an automatic, like, conversation turner, you know. You know, people start looking at you like, okay, I just walked into a bee's nest here. I was just kind of wondering, you know, hey, you know, what kind of job did you have? I didn't know I was going to get this, you know, Oprah Winfrey show poured out upon me or whatnot, and people kind of, they kind of, lean back, they kind of resent, they're like, whoa, okay, well, I'm sorry to hear that, I hope you get to feeling better. Like, you really can't get to feeling better. You've been disabled for over 10 years. I mean, come on now. And then they kind of move on, and after that, they really don't like talking to you anymore, because of that first initial impression, that first conversation that you had. It was just such a downer. And the same thing, and that's actually one of the nicer one of the nicer introductions of when you're telling somebody that you're disabled. The other one is that they look at you in complete and utter disgust, like, really? You're sitting here telling me that you're disabled, that you can't go out and work, and I'm sitting here and forking over my hard tax dollars so that you can live a comfy life? What comfy life are you talking about? It's not like I sat here and won the lottery here. I wake up every day in pain. I sit there and suffer every day throughout my whole adult life. Yeah, let's talk about comfort here. I wish I could do what you're doing. I wish I could wake up every day and actually have something to look forward to. But anyways, you can read more here in the post about the disadvantages and some of my struggles that I went through. I just wanted to get on here and kind of share a little bit with you personally, okay, guys? Anyways, my name is Todd Worley. Go ahead and subscribe down below if you wanted to learn more about, being on disability and how to actually try and get off of it, because that's what I'm doing. And take care. God bless.